Hi, welcome back to In Case You Missed It. This is the first one of the year 2026. This is Patiño. I'm the Vice President of Education and External Affairs at Aliento. Today we're going to be talking about the tragic death of Renee Nicole Wood in Minneapolis last week, as well as the reports about potentially ICE coming here to the Phoenix area, as well as state of the state that the governor of Arizona, Katie Hobbs, said yesterday. But to get us started, is something that brought me joy over the holiday break. Was playing games with my family and friends, especially Loteria. And this year we played Millennium Loteria. So playing with my mom and dad, they were like, "I don't recognize this. This is not El Catrín. This is the hipster. Well, who's the Karen and El Boomer?" So it was really fun to see kind of how it's evolved. So let's get to it. We'll get started with the tragic death of Renee Nicole Wood. I know there's been many videos, different angles. I know some of us have seen it multiple times. I know some individuals have chosen not to see it. Honestly, it was very shocking to witness the account. I personally have had interactions with police officers where they have pointed guns that close to me back during the 1870 days here in Arizona. And I grew up with police officers patrolling the community, and I think through that I was able to feel more comfortable in the way I reacted. And also, you as a Mexican immigrant undocumented at that time, currently a DACA recipient, you kind of get those talks of how to conduct yourself and understanding. At least from my perspective, my mom always told me is like assume that your life could be potentially in danger. Thankfully, hasn't happened. It was very sad to see that, especially because she has 3 young children. And then afterwards, the response from the president and then the DHA secretary saying that she is a domestic terrorist when it's not the case, or the vice president, J.D. Vance, saying that ICE has absolute immunity, which that's not the case. The concern for the community is that technically the FBI would be in charge of investigating this incident. It seems like it's not going to be a fair one just based on the comments of the vice president, the president, and the secretary of Homeland Security. At least on the positive side, what we have seen is that the community has supported the GoFundMe, now raised more than $1 million for the family. I know that money will never replace the human being, especially for the young children who lost a mother, for the partner who saw her spouse die in basically in front of her. But we have seen, even here in Phoenix area, I've seen multiple protests for multiple days. In Minneapolis and New York and other places, you see tens of thousands of people saying that this is not okay. Again, this is not okay. This is not something that we should normalize, that a federal law enforcement agency such as ICE can go and shoot individuals because they are driving away or protesting. Again, law enforcement is set here to protect the community, not to harm it. And my heart goes to the family, to the community, because this echoes of the George Floyd incident that happened in 2020, which led to the Black Lives Matter movement increasing. And our hope is that we can reflect the society that these types of incidents, that the death of this young woman, I'm also 37 years old, consider myself a little bit young as well, that we don't let this go and normalize it, because human beings should not be killed by ICE agents because either they don't want to show their papers, or they're frightened and want to drive away, or they're protesting. That's not okay. Now, I hate to start the year with another, I would think it's bad news. There were reports last week by the Bulwark, Adrian Carrasquillo, formerly of BuzzFeed, saying that he heard, or there's some rumors out there, or there's some that potentially ICE in the similar presence that we see in Minneapolis, that we saw earlier, last year in Chicago or in Charlotte or in Los Angeles, to come here to the Phoenix area. And that was concerning because we have a large amount of people here who are from the immigrant community, mixed status community, as well as this is a state that has been through multiple battles on immigration, from Prop 200, Prop 300, SB 1070 2010. And it's going to be, I think, for us from the community, it's so important for you all to go to Know Your Rights trainings, understand that you have protection, create communities of protection if you are already not part of one. There's a lot of organizations out there where they're supporting. And I know some folks would be like, I have my own hope, my own little group. Additionally, the governor confirmed that she hasn't had any reports from ICE. And if ICE were to come, there isn't much that the governor could do. Sadly, that's how our government works, right? The federal government has supersede effort and power over immigration law, and they could send ICE agents into the state. The thing that we do ask the governor as well as the local mayors is to make sure that the police, local police, whether it's Phoenix, whether it's the sheriff's office, whether it's the state troopers, to make sure to protect the community and create perimeters of safety, so then we don't have incidents like they're happening in Minneapolis or in other places where we have ICE agents or Border Patrol attacking protesters who are expressing their First Amendment rights of freedom of speech. That's something that is still worry for a lot of us in the community, those of us who have been to other protests for other issues in immigration, education. Again, that's something that defined the U.S. as that you can go and exercise your First Amendment rights against the government, so long as you do it in a safe manner. But right now, a lot of the evidence, at least that I've seen, is the ICE agents unjustly attacking, pepper spraying the protesters. So it's very, if they come, hopefully they don't, make sure to stay safe in the community. Right now, we don't know how they will react. My fear as an individual is based on what I've heard, the rhetoric from the president and DHS doubling down on this, is that this could potentially escalate and escalate very quickly, and we could potentially have more deaths that are irreversible. One of the things that we were looking at the last report from last year, there are close to 40 individuals who have died in ICE custody from January 2025 to December of 2025. Our hope is that no more people die, because a human life is important and is valuable. Yesterday was opening day here in the state of Arizona. We had Governor Katie Hobbs give the State of the State, which she outlined the plan for the future. One of the priorities that is aligned with us is education, and we want to make sure that we have support our students, our educators, and our administrators as much as possible. Right now, Arizona has a proposition called 123 that was passed in 2016, and what it was designed to is roughly $300 million from the state land trust would go into public education to help fund, because of the budget cuts that have happened during the Great Recession that our education system never really recovered from. That Prop 123 expired last year. So what's happening, if it doesn't get reauthorized, is the general budget fund gets backfilled. So schools still get the money. However, that means that there's $300 million less for vital programs and services, as well as for other education initiatives. So that's something that here in Arizona we're supporting. So one thing that we always encourage people is, like, be kind to your teachers, be kind to your administrators, and if you have students, support them, because this has been a very challenging time in education. We have a lot of school closures, we have declining enrollment rate, students are struggling, teachers have overwhelmed, we have less capacity, a lot of teachers leaving the classroom. So for us, is anything you can do is, like, it's also flu season, so I know a lot of our educators are potentially getting sick. Please be kind to them. I know it may feel overwhelming. You're not alone. We're living under unprecedented times, like everything that is happening. We're here, Aliento, here to support you as the news progresses, and as we have seen how ICE and Border Patrol are conducting themselves in law enforcement. Again, make sure that you know your rights, make sure that you get some training. You can always go to Aliento and request a training. I know there are other organizations are doing it. If you're partnering with them, please do so, and please take care of yourself. I wish we had better news and we were living in a better time, but this is current reality, and it's incumbent upon us to protect each other and be support for one another.